Hello everyone, this is Running on Empty Food Review, and a good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is afternoon once more, 12:20 p.m., so early afternoon to be specific, and here we are gathered once more for yet another food review. This time from Arby's. Arby's, they don't produce too many new items with much consistency, but they do produce some new items nonetheless, and today I believe it's the first day that they've had this out, so we're early on the scene. It's their Chicken Fajita Flatbread. You know, Arby's, they always wondered, hey, where do you want to go to get Americanized Mexican food? Arby's, duh. You know, so thus the Fajita Flatbreads were born. They give that great taste of Mexican cuisine over to Arby's, where, of course, they also have the meat. Okay, that being said, this has a lot on it, and we'll get to that in a minute. First and foremost, if you are new here, if you are a new viewer from Reddit or Facebook or from any site, or even if you found this on your own, it's a pleasure to have you here. Great to have you here. And welcome aboard, you know, great to have you. And I'm going to keep doing these reviews, and I'm going to keep, keep on keeping on, as they say. So anyways, as they said, the Arby's Chicken Fajita Flatbread. And this has a lot on it. And, we'll just get to it. This has Colby jack cheese, fajita seasoning, peppers, red and yellow, onions, chicken, lettuce, avocados, and tomatoes. All for the affordable price of $5.32, which is, it's a bit. Alright, here's what we got, now that we know what it has on it. As I pretty much anticipated, it's a mess. This is it, all its glory here. You can see right there. Sorry about that, hope that made the video a little more interesting, perhaps, I don't know. This is what it this is what it looks like. You can see it's just overstuffed with all this stuff. I don't like using that word, but this is it. It's a flatbread. It's actually very soggy. Can really smell the onions coming off of this. I don't know. Personally, I think right out of the bat, just looking at this, I'm gonna say it. I think they put way too much in this. I personally do. I don't think it needs half this stuff in it. But I guess, you know, when Arby, they say, hey, bigger is better, so let's just get so much in here. It's just borderline completely impractical. And, well, that's that. Alright, we'll get to eating now. So it's the Chicken Fajita Flatbread from Arby's going in. This really reminds me of that one gyro of theirs that I reviewed back in January. It's very similar in appearance and also how messy it is, but taste is very different, of course. Take a few more bites. You know, oh good, they included napkins. Good. Those are a must, of course, when you want to eat this thing. You know what? I'm surprised, and maybe I say that in a good way, because it's not in a good way. I'm just surprised, a general surprise, that's all. I'm very surprised that Arby's here, it's surprising, you know, they include so many things on this. You have just cheese, you have lettuce, you have, everything really. I mean, you name it, they have it. Peppers, just name it, it's there. You'd think with all of these ingredients on this flatbread, it would really be very flavorful. You think, well, it has the chicken, it's got the fajita seasoning, it's got the avocado, it's got lettuce, tomato, peppers. There's so much on it. Well, of course, it'd be extremely flavorful. It would just be overflowing with flavor, right? Incorrect. As a matter of fact, it was actually very bland, and that is shocking how they can have so many items in this one flatbread consolidated together and actually make it bland. It's very disappointing. It was surprising at first. It was just shocking how someone can just screw that up and just get all these seemingly delicious ingredients and just make them into something that's relatively tasteless. And of course, the star of this is the chicken. It's the chicken flatbread, right? That is what you want to taste. If you just eat that and you don't taste any of the chicken, you'll most likely be disappointed. At least they put a good portion of the chicken on. They had at least 3 or 4 thick, horizontally cut slices in this flatbread. So I credit them on that. They did a good job with the chicken. That's where it ends, because the chicken itself is grilled chicken, but it looks like they just grilled it to excess, in so much that this chicken is just completely bland. It's dry, lacking in any flavor really at all. All you can taste is just a little char on the surface of the chicken from where it was grilled too much, and that's just a disappointment in the end. So the chicken itself, the star of the dish, is immediately just disappointing. Then another problem which I noticed with that is the chicken itself doesn't seem seasoned at all. I don't think they put any salt, or even like a simple salt and pepper rub on the chicken would be great. Multiply at least some of the flavor there, even if there's no juice or anything. I guess they thought, oh, the fajita seasoning will do that. Well, let me just tell you this, with all those other ingredients. When you have so many ingredients in one thing, eventually they just mash into one big mess, and they just end up drowning each other out. For instance, it's a very, very juicy, aside from the problems with the chicken, it is very juicy. You can see all the stuff just dripping out of it, from all the sauce that's in there, and all the vegetables, of course, also really emanate their own juice as well. And you just bite in, it's just this soggy mess. Maybe you can just taste the overwhelming flavor of the peppers sometimes the tomatoes. You can't really taste the onions at all, despite the fact that they, really do offer that strong scent. But nonetheless, let's just go down. I'll tell you what I could taste and what I couldn't. The Colby cheese, I couldn't taste that at all. Drowned out completely. The fajita seasoning, didn't even know it was there, couldn't taste it. The peppers, you can taste those, so you can taste the peppers at least. Onions, couldn't taste them, could smell them. Chicken, oh yeah, I could taste that, but didn't taste like anything good. The lettuce, you could kind of taste it. It was really just holding in all this moisture, so nothing really special about that. Avocados, couldn't taste that. The tomatoes, yeah, could taste that. And then I think they had a sour cream sauce on it as well, which just got lost in everything else. I think what this sandwich suffers from is the fact that Arby's wanted to just go big. They wanted to have all this on it. They wanted to make it great, and instead, because they had so much on it, it just drowned out all the flavors and really ruined what could have been a good thing. So here's what they could do to fix it. Number one, get rid of half those ingredients, all right? Keep the basics, we'll look at these again. Maybe keep the cheese, keep the peppers, the onions, the chicken, and maybe the sauce. That's it. Yeah, that's all you need. Make it like a standard little fajita. You don't need any excess lettuce or tomato. You really don't. I mean, that in itself would save it some problems right there. Second, what they have to do is they need to redo the chicken, either not grill it so much, or simply add some sort of seasoning, some rub, or add more of that fajita seasoning, perhaps apply it directly to the chicken. And then also the price needs to be lowered. Since say you would be removing some of these ingredients, hopefully they can make the price cheaper, because this was over $5 wasted on this, $5.32 on this, which was just money down the tubes. And I think this should at most be a $4 sandwich. So it's very disappointing for what it is, and for all that, all things considered, out of 10, I'm going to have to give this a 6.0 out of 10. Was it edible? Yes, but it needs some work, absolutely, and it was also a waste of money. That's all I have for you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Report of the Week, and today's review is for the Chicken Fajita Flatbread from Arby's. Thank you, and take care.